Negative self-talk is one of the most damaging habits we carry, and it's often so subtle that we don't even realize it's happening. Stoic philosophy teaches us to master our thoughts and focus on what we can control, and the way we speak to ourselves is entirely within our control. When we constantly criticize ourselves, whether it's over mistakes, perceived flaws, or failures, we create a narrative that undermines our confidence and peace of mind. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Most of the time, the harsh words we direct at ourselves are reactions to external events, things we can't change. Maybe you made a mistake at work or said the wrong thing in a conversation. Instead of spiraling into negativity, a Stoic approach would be to assess the situation rationally. What happened, and what can you learn from it? Anything beyond that, beating yourself up, reliving the moment, or labeling yourself as a failure, is wasted energy. Quietly eliminating negative self-talk doesn't mean ignoring your shortcomings or pretending to be perfect. It means replacing destructive thoughts with constructive ones. For example, instead of saying, "I'll never get this right," reframe it to, "I didn't get it right this time, but I'm learning." It's a small shift, but it aligns with the Stoic principle of focusing on improvement rather than perfection. Start paying attention to your inner dialogue. When you catch yourself being overly critical, pause and challenge those thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me? Is it true? What would a wise friend say in this situation? By questioning and reframing your self-talk, you can break the cycle of negativity and create a more rational, supportive mindset. Remember, your inner dialogue shapes how you experience the world. If you speak to yourself with kindness and logic, you'll find it easier to navigate life's challenges with the calm and resilience that Stoics advocate. Unnecessary possessions often weigh us down more than we realize. In Stoic philosophy, simplicity is a virtue, and the things we own should serve us, not the other way around. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Yet, we often accumulate things in the hope that they'll bring happiness or status, only to find that they create clutter in our lives and minds. Think about the items in your home right now. How many of them do you truly use or value? How many are just there, collecting dust, creating distractions, or making your life more complicated? The Stoics understood that possessions can become a source of attachment and dependency, which runs counter to their principle of inner self-sufficiency. They encouraged people to strip away what is unnecessary so that they could focus on what truly matters: wisdom, virtue, and peace of mind. Letting go of unnecessary possessions doesn't mean giving up comfort or living an extreme minimalist lifestyle. It's about evaluating what adds value to your life and quietly eliminating what doesn't. For example, do you need 3 pairs of headphones, or is one enough? Are those clothes you haven't worn in years really worth keeping? By removing excess, you create physical and mental space for the things that truly matter. This process also helps us cultivate gratitude. When we own less, we tend to appreciate more. A single cup of coffee becomes a moment to savor instead of just another routine. A book you've read and loved carries more weight than a shelf full of books you'll never open. The fewer distractions we have, the more present we can be in our daily lives. The next time you feel overwhelmed by clutter or tempted to buy something you don't need, pause and ask yourself, will this truly improve my life, or is it just adding to the noise? By choosing simplicity, you're not just clearing out physical space, you're aligning your life with the Stoic ideal of finding contentment within. Toxic relationships are one of the most draining aspects of life, yet we often hold on to them out of habit, fear, or misplaced loyalty. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of surrounding yourself with people who inspire and uplift you, rather than those who bring negativity or chaos into your life. Seneca once said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve." The process is mutual, for men learn while they teach. A toxic relationship, whether it's with a friend, family member, or partner, often involves manipulation, constant criticism, or a lack of respect for boundaries. These relationships can chip away at your peace of mind and make it harder to focus on what truly matters. Stoicism teaches us to prioritize our inner tranquility, and this means having the courage to quietly step away from relationships that no longer serve our well-being. This doesn't mean you need to create conflict or confront these people aggressively. Instead, it's about gradually reducing the time and energy you invest in such relationships. If someone consistently drains you, consider how much access they should have to your life. You can still maintain kindness and respect, but you don't have to allow their negativity to influence your mental state. It's also important to remember that eliminating toxic relationships isn't selfish. It's necessary for your growth. When you let go of people who bring you down, you make space for healthier connections, relationships based on mutual respect, understanding, and support. These are the relationships that align with the Stoic value of virtuous companionship. As you reflect on the people in your life, ask yourself, do they encourage my growth? Do they respect my boundaries? Do I feel at peace after spending time with them? If the answer is consistently no, it might be time to quietly step back. Your energy is a finite resource, and where you choose to spend it greatly influences the quality of your life. By eliminating toxic relationships, you take a significant step toward cultivating the inner calm and resilience that Stoicism promotes. Surround yourself with people who reflect the kind of life you want to lead, and watch how your own character and happiness begin to flourish. Unproductive anger is one of the biggest obstacles to maintaining inner peace, and the Stoics understood this deeply. Anger, when left unchecked, clouds our judgment, leads to rash decisions, and often causes harm to both ourselves and others. Seneca wrote extensively about anger, calling it brief madness, and urging us to master it before it masters us. Stoic philosophy doesn't suggest that we suppress anger entirely, as it's a natural human emotion. Instead, it teaches us to respond to it with reason and perspective. Most of the things that make us angry are outside our control: traffic, someone's rude behavior, or an unexpected setback. The Stoics remind us that getting angry over these things only doubles our suffering. As Epictetus said, "It is not events that disturb us, but our interpretation of them." The first step to eliminating unproductive anger is awareness. When you feel anger rising, pause and ask yourself, why am I angry? Is this something within my control? Will reacting with anger solve anything? Often, just taking a moment to reflect can diffuse the emotion. Stoics practiced this form of self-discipline constantly, training their minds to remain calm even in challenging situations. Another technique is to reframe the situation. Let's say someone cuts you off in traffic. Instead of fuming about their carelessness, consider that they might be in a rush due to an emergency. While their actions might still be wrong, changing your perspective can reduce the emotional charge of the moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. It's also helpful to channel anger into something constructive. If a situation genuinely requires action, approach it calmly and logically. For example, if you're upset about an unfair policy at work, instead of venting your frustration, focus on how you can present a solution or advocate for change. By acting thoughtfully, you not only manage your anger, but also demonstrate the Stoic principle of virtuous action. Ultimately, the goal isn't to never feel anger, but to ensure it doesn't control you. By practicing self-awareness, reframing situations, and acting with intention, you can transform anger into an opportunity for growth. In doing so, you align with the Stoic ideal of maintaining inner tranquility regardless of external circumstances.